Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at Etrailer, and today we have the Yakima EXO system. So we currently have the double up bike rack and the enclosed cargo carrier, which is the gear locker. We'll take a look at how this system fits our 2021 Subaru Outback Wagon. This setup is great if you're going for a big adventure, you're going riding, you need a bike rack that can carry your bikes different shapes and sizes, but you also need some cargo space for your helmets, your gear, your shoes, maybe your tents. This is a great way to store all of that. And it's a modular system too, so during the off season, if you want to go ski and snowboarding, you can switch this out with the ski and snowboard carrier. We're going to focus on our Subaru Outback Wagon today though. If you want a full review, check out my demo here at etrailer.com where I really get into the specs and measurements. But focusing on our vehicle, let's start with how much space does this take up. This takes up a lot of space, but to be more specific, I like to measure from our bumper to the end of the box, and that sits at 3 feet of space. So that's something to consider if you have a small garage or need to park into a tight spot. Another measurement is going to be ground clearance. So underneath our swing base to the ground, I have it at around 15 inches. And this is something to consider when you go steep inclines like those driveways and those hills. You do have a good amount of clearance for most applications, but it is lower compared to your taller trucks and SUVs. This is what the system looks like from the back of the Subaru Outback. So your bikes are definitely going to be the bulkiest part here, covering your rear window. And also, if you have things on your roof, be mindful that you may not go as far back out if you have those longer kayaks. Your rear window will have limited visibility, and your backup camera will definitely be covered by the top shelf. If you need to open your hatch though, or maybe you've parked and you need more clearance, you can swing this system away. There's this large knob here that needs to be fully loosened. It does have a lot of thread, so it will take a little bit of time, but that's also a good thing because then you know it's secure. Once that knob is loose, you then pull this other lever and you push out on the swing base. Hold on to the support triangle as you push this system out 90 degrees. And once it's out there, it snaps into place in this position. Two things about this orientation. One is going to be, this is how you can open up your hatch, reach in there, grab whatever you need. You can even tailgate if you want. Another thing is, this is a perfect time to take off your bikes because you are able to access one bike on this side and you're able to access it on the other side. Do it now before you swing the top shelf around. Swing the top shelf around, what does that mean? Well, if you need to open up your gear locker, you won't be able to do that with the top shelf here. So there is a knob and a pin you have to remove first. I already unscrewed the knob, so we're then going to focus on this lock and this pin. You can also use a clip at the end if you want it faster. Once those are removed, you can then pivot this top shelf out. In our case here, because we're parked up against the garage, I'm actually gonna swing this whole system in a bit just to give us a little bit of space to swing this around. And once I do swing it around, I can then push everything back out. So you can see here, if you do have someone parked beside you, this is all the things you can do to make sure you're able to fully utilize your system without running into anything. For our double up bike rack, it does have a maximum tire size of 29 inches, which is what we have on our mountain bike here. And this is the reason why. While it does come close to the Outback, because of how the hatch is curved, as well as because of the shape of our bike rack, it's perfectly fine. Now remember, you have a 40-pound per bike weight capacity. This can carry most types of bikes, like our carbon fiber mountain bike here. Double check our product page for more specs to see if your bikes match it. But it is nice to see we have all that clearance. So how much weight capacity do you have? Well, the bike rack can only be used in the up or top shelf position because there's no space on the bottom unless you take the top shelf off, and then you can only carry around the bikes. And with this, you have a 40-pound per bike up top because you have a total of 80, and if you have it on the bottom, you have 50 pounds per bike for a total of 100 pounds that's gonna be the same for your box. We do have a product page that really specifies those weight capacities, and everything total should not exceed 350 pounds. So double check the hitch receiver on your Subaru Outback Wagon and make sure it has the capacity for all that cargo and the EXO system before you load it up. The modularity of the EXO system is really where it shines. And if you want to switch out your accessories, you first start by pressing the tabs on the speed knobs, and if they are unlocked, then they should loosen. And once they are loose, the cleat disengages from your accessory. So here we have it fully loose. We can then grab our accessory, lift it up, and take it out of that track. So I now have the Gear Warrior cargo basket, and this makes it a lot more visible with how the red cleat secures around the basket. And then once that knob tightens down, you're then ready to press these tabs, which locks it into place. And then you can also lock your speed knob. And now we have a whole nother kit. So kits are something you can purchase here at Etrailer where everything is already matched and paired together. I like the cargo box kit because then you have an enclosed box, it's safe from the elements, even if it rains, you know that your cargo is not getting wet. The downside though to the gear locker is you're limited to the box. If you did have a basket, you can carry larger items, you can carry your smaller items, you can carry items that spill over the basket as long as everything's strapped down. So when you're going for a bike ride, it really does depend on what type of cargo you're carrying and if you want it enclosed or not. So when Yakima was making the EXO system, a lot of their marketing was with the Subaru Outback because they know that the type of people that like to drive Subaru Outbacks like to go on adventures, and this is a great setup for those adventures. It really does depend on what type of accessory do you want to carry with you. You can carry this kit with the bike rack and the basket on its own here at Etrailer, and then you can purchase the different accessories separately. Find all of those product pages on our website. Take a look at all of our demos and reviews which explain how to install them and how to put them onto your EXO system. But just remember, no matter what, you definitely need the hitch capacity for this whole system for your Subaru. We installed this hitch here at Etrailer, and you can find a hitch for your vehicle if you don't already have one by putting your year, make, model on our website and finding the right fit for you. So you saw all those different accessories here in this video. You saw the Yakima double up bike rack sitting on the top shelf, and the Gear Warrior cargo basket, as well as the Gear Locker cargo box sitting on the EXO swing base. And all of this was on the 2021 Subaru Outback Wagon.